just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed. Nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head. They keep falling. So I just did some talking to the sun. And I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head. They keep falling. But there's one thing I know. The blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me.
Hey there, got an update for me?
The raindrops falling on my head. But that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining. Because I'm free, nothing's worrying me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Because I'm free.
Just the person I wanted to see.
Nothing's
You got that schematic?
worrying me.
And we aim to keep it that way. I need to deliver this to Vina so she can start the reverse engineering process, but first, Ularu wants to see you. I've upgraded your security level so you can access the executive floor, where her office is. Tell her assistant Maeve you have an appointment. I won't be far behind, in case you get lost.
Well done. This should be enough to get me back in the field by next week.
Can I help you? Name an appointment. Confirmed. Ularu is wrapping up a meeting with Genevieve. You can wait here or in the lobby area. I'll let you know when she's ready to see you. I see Imogene Salzo is supposed to be with you.
I'm right here, Maeve.
Good. It should just be a moment. Well, sooner than I thought. Looks like Ularu's ready now.
That leaves us with only one option.
God, Ularu, is that always your response? I don't want another PR mess on my hands.
Yes, Viv, because you're too good at your job. No, we can talk details later. My next appointment's here.
Fine, but you can break this news to Alexis at our next meeting.
You're finally here. The one I've been hearing so much about. I'm Ularu Chen, head of operations here at Ryujin. So tell me, what do you think of your new job so far? In that case, it sounds like our initial impression of you is turning out to be quite accurate. Now, my dear Jeannie here says you've been through the basics of what we do, and pulled off success every time.
5 successful standard assignments, and 1 specialized.
And on top of all that, a flawless record. It's no wonder they love you up here. I happen to have a personal assignment that I'd like to send you on. One that involves meeting up with an outside contact. Jeannie seems to think you're more than capable of handling it.
She's the best operative I've ever hired.
Let's not forget the only operative you've ever hired. Meeting with outside contacts isn't always as straightforward as your past assignments. Some can be fickle or demanding, so you'll need to decide how to handle them and what decisions to make on the fly. Good. Then you shouldn't have any trouble. Your contact is Simon Rychek. He claims to have information on a new project that Infinity Ltd. Is working on. He said it's a game changer that Ryujin would be especially interested in. So his asking price is the big thing to consider. Finance will reimburse up to 1,000 credits. So if you have negotiation skills, use them. Simon's been working with us for years, so he'll pose no threat to you. He's paranoid, which is why I assume he's never been caught. But his information is typically worth it. Now, in order to confirm your identity, Simon prefers code phrases. I'll let Jeannie give you the details on this one because the concept is just beneath me.
Simon is into sports, so he enjoys any opportunity to talk about them. At some point, he'll casually say, "Looks like the Galactic Raiders are the #1 pick for the Universal Championship this year." You get to respond with, "Razor Derby is the only real sport." Got it? You'll find him in Sidonia, so I hope your ship's fueled. Just look for him above the Lux condos in the plaza.
You spoke very highly of this one, Jeannie. Let's hope she doesn't make a liar out of you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some things to take care of.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. Well, that wasn't too bad for your introduction. What do you think of Ularu? I'm pretty sure all of our field operatives have shared that sentiment at one point. Ularu loves to remind people how expendable they can be. Let me know if you have any questions regarding your assignment. And enjoy your time in Sidonia. It's certainly no neon. For you? No, only Ularu calls me that. It's not up for negotiation. Only that it's vastly different than Neon. There's not glitz and glam where Sidonia is concerned. And don't worry about it being in UC territory. Simon's smart, so any physical information he may hand off to you won't set off any alarms. Just make sure your ship is clean before reaching Mars orbit. Remember, Aurora is illegal there, so if you have any on you, it needs to stay here. I worked with Simon a lot in my time as a field op. He's a perpetually grumpy man, but I think he just likes to keep his distance. Getting close to people isn't a luxury he can afford in his line of work, much like ours.
Captain! Over here!
The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin, a title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come. A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked. I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young, training accidents and the like. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the Colony War, and they never came back. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would look like with them still in it. No, they made a pretty grave miscalculation. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death on both sides. Freestar Collective and UC. Military and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned. He had his men open fire on civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne. A battle that he ultimately ended up losing anyway, devastating the UC fleet and bringing the Colony War to an ugly end for the UC. But he's also the one who ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport during their outbreak, condemning countless lives. Both sides agreed the settled systems would be better without him. I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here. That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift. Well, thinking about it more, I suspect there'd be value in sharing the fact that the Terramorph project was, well, a failure. There's no need to be afraid of this data being weaponized. Knowing that should calm some of the Cabinet's fears and make it easier for us to dispel any suspicions the other factions might have about our intentions. Eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The Cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise. I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being Fleet Admiral to deal with kids. I was raised by a pair of Guardians instead. Until his defeat during the Colony War, though, he was known as an extremely effective commander. Savvy. Perceptive. That mind opened a lot of doors for him. And for me, too. But Victus, for all his ability, was heartless. Ruthless to a fault. In the end, that's what cost him his life.
Lost? Or just come to ask an out-of-work miner how his day's going? Not much to see. Same old buildings, same old rocks. What I wouldn't give for a beer and some real entertainment around here. Speaking of, looks like the Galactic Raiders are the #1 pick for the Universal Championship this year. Damn right it is. I heard they were sending someone new. Nice to see you made it. I have information on a deal being proposed between Infinity Ltd and Deimos Stockyards. It's my belief that your employers would be highly interested in the details. So I'm upping my price. It's steep, yes. But that is why I'm also offering a little side job if you can't pay up. For this little tidbit? Believe me, I know exactly what this is worth. I suppose I can't argue with that. You don't know what you're talking about. You might be right. All right, I'll lower the price. But that's my final offer. Unless you may prefer the side job now? I knew you'd see reason. The information I have is on a deal for something called Project Dominion. A I'm giving you 2 slates. They contain surveillance and interaction data for Stanley McMillan, the Infinity rep, that I obtained myself. I'm also giving you a 3rd slate because you're going to need to download the files on Project Dominion off his computer yourself. Best guess is it has something to do with Infinity getting into the neuroamp business. Stanley McMillan seemed to think Ryujin would be the one company threatened by this news, so their entry must involve something big. Oh, they will.
Only employees of Temp Starfield Division are authorized to mine resources in and around Gaia. Caution. Prepare for today's final subterranean particle detonation. Be advised to secure this article and find stable ground or remain seated in the event of unforeseen travel. A reminder that particle detonations can occur without city limits between the hours of opening.
What the hell are you doing in this dump of a city anyway? You draw the short stick at work or what?
Infinity sent me to get Deimos to bite on a deal. He's even got a catchy code name. Project Dominion.
Sounds like world domination to me, buddy. I'd buy into that in a heartbeat.
Right? I'm telling you, this Project Dominion is the real deal. We ought to be selling this to Inception or Quantum.
Hell, you should be in the Astro Lounge making Ryujin Industries beg for that tech.
Ah, that'd be the greatest irony of them all, but not this baby. Dominion is finally gonna put Infinity first. We'll beat Ryujin at their own game.
And Constellation's newest member has arrived just in time.
Sarah was just regaling us with a story involving her and Vladimir that is clearly 100% fabricated.
Are you calling me a liar, Cartray?
No, ma'am. Wouldn't dream of it.
It's fair to say that by this point we all have tales that sound like they're made up. But we've been together long enough to know they're true.
Some of our stories are a bit weirder than others, you gotta admit.
Okay, sure, but it's not a contest, Barrett. None of us thought we'd end up here like this. I was sure I'd have a nice, quiet, boring career in Mast.
I kind of figured I'd just keep securing religious relics.
Sorry, I couldn't quite hear that. Did you say securing or stealing?
You're never gonna let it go, are you?
You should know by now that is not how Walter operates. He never lets anything go. It's gotten him this far.
Now, Andreja, I'm sure your answer would be something about the life of a smuggler. Am I right?
It was perhaps not my plan, but my options were limited. None of us would hold it against you. I think we all have at least a few moments we might now look back on and regret.
And that is one contest Barrett would definitely win.
And let's not forget about you. Discovered an artifact and tussled with pirates all on his first day. No big deal, right? I think we've all said, or at least thought, something similar.
Too right. We're all here for a reason, and a damn good one.
That's why we're all here. Even as this gets weirder and weirder.
It's all important. Probably the most important thing there is. And soon, we're gonna understand what it all means.
The optimism in this room right now could power all of New Atlantis. I love it.
We have an incredibly capable group of people here. We have a path to follow, and we're going to see where it leads. We're going to figure out what this all means, and look after each other along the way. No matter what happens, we're all in this together.
I'll drink to that.
Always a pleasure. You don't even have to ask. Every time you talk to me, I fall in love with you more and more. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, sorry if I'm a little out of it. Didn't get much sleep last night. Lillian and me, I tried talking with her and I lost my cool. Got a little heated. I know I woke Cora up. Well, up until a few years ago, she kept hoping we'd get back together. I mean, Lillian and I stayed married longer than we should have for Cora's sake. But we really weren't doing Cora any favors there. Well, that statement's gonna keep me up at night, like everything? Just so you know, there's a long, proud tradition of singing in the shower. Ah, Lillian, she's an incredible woman. Truly. But it is always, and I mean always, about the job. When she bleeds, Freestar colors spill out. And back when I was a ranger, we were quite the team. I never had much passion for law enforcement. But there were days I was damn proud to wear the uniform. And other days, too messy. I mean, we always walk the line well. Lillian is good that way. But some laws I think are horseshit. Like ruining lives because some barroom brawl got out of hand. That never sat well with me. I'm meant to be on my own, exploring the great beyond. It calls to me. Maybe it's Solomon saying hello. But one day, I was just done. No particular reason. It had been building for a long time. So I tried to convince Lillian to leave it behind, come with me. She shot me down. Hard. Hurt my pride. More than a little. But she was probably right. Not for a second. And she's right. Lillian is where she's meant to be. She always wants to fight the good fight. And the Rangers are lucky to have her. Yeah. Separation ain't known to be kind on little ones. It's funny, our latest argument started because Lillian thinks I'm putting Cora in too much danger traveling with you. I mentioned the idea you had about maybe Cora staying with Lillian if things got too dangerous. Suddenly she was all excuses. She's always going on that she doesn't see Cora enough. And then I try to take her up on that, and yeah, fireworks. Late night stakeouts, shootouts with a lot of leftover adrenaline. Well, we were never lacking in chemistry. Compatibility, on the other hand... Nah, don't be. It's always something. Cora's been stood up a time or two by Lillian. Always for the best reasons. Last time I think Lillian got a medal for it. But at a certain point, Lillian's excuses don't matter. Poor Cora cried for a week. I don't want to put her through that again. Sorry to vent, but you're a good friend. It really helps to talk it out. For now, Lillian's going straight to voicemail, so everyone can sleep easy.
Took longer than expected. I hope whatever information Simon had was worth it. Project Dominion? That can't be right. Give me a moment to run a decryption. Let's see. Got the key, deciphering, and done. Well, well, well. Looks like our friend Simon wasn't joking. Project Dominion isn't an Infinity LTD prototype. It's one of ours. They didn't even bother to scrub the name, meaning someone never thought they'd get caught. Come with me. Masako needs to hear about this.
What is this about? Who is this?
This is our latest junior operative. I sent her on an assignment to rendezvous with an informant. But here's the real news. Infinity LTD has gotten their hands on Project Dominion.
Impossible.
Not only that, they're trying to sell it under their own name.
Of course they are. We need fines to investigate this immediately. Since you found this information, I am trusting you to help investigate. You see, Project Dominion is confidential. It requires a high security clearance to even know it exists. If Infinity LTD has obtained any information on it, that means we have a very well-connected mole within our corporation. I suppose, since we're trusting you in this investigation, I can give you some details. Project Dominion is our latest advancement in neuroamp technology. Our current neuroamps are all external devices, but Project Dominion would be the first surgically implanted internal neuroamp on the market. The project itself was nearing completion, which is why exposing the mole is of utmost importance. We can't allow any more research to fall into their hands. Exactly. I want you to go see Dalton Fines, our chief security officer. I'll send him the details. You've brought an enormous security violation to our attention, so I trust your help in any way possible. And thank you. Some operatives may have seized this as an opportunity for extortion. It's good to know your loyalty lies with us.
Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue. Here we go.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor. That is something to consider. Though we also have to take into account the nature of the data you require.
Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, Terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask how many deaths the Cabinet requires to act. 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we?
Vladimir! Vlad, come in! Come in! The eye's gone completely dark. I can't reach anyone on the station.
Noel, Starborn,
came out of nowhere.
Vladimir, get out of there!
He already left. Said he was going to the lodge. Sarah, she's still breathing, but oh God, all that blood.
Hello, Constellation. Are you there?
Who are you? What did you do to our friends?
They call me the Hunter. And now that I'm here, your part in glimpsing the Unity is over. I'm already on my way. Say goodbye to your friends. It won't be long.
Forget about us! That starborn bastard is after the artifacts! You can't let him take them! Pack up the collection, move it somewhere they can't find it!
He's right. We need to bunker down here and get those artifacts ready to move. Might need every gun to hold that starborn off.
What about everyone on the Eye? We can't leave them to die up there.
Can't blame you, but sure could use your help when that starborn comes knocking.
I don't know how long it's gonna take to pack up the artifacts. I'll get started. Hopefully this will only take a few minutes, if my hands can stop shaking.
Everyone take cover, now.
Where? You really expect them to barge through the front door?
I'm not expecting them to ring the bell.
Could you all keep it down? I'm trying to work here.
Tonight, Gotham's relying on one
Walter!
man to save us
Are
all.
you all right?
Protect the artifacts!
We run.
I have all the artifacts. There's an old escape tunnel to the Delta Street. Come on! He's still coming! Get to the ship! And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
I'm inclined to agree.
As am I.
I suppose that does get to the heart of the point, doesn't it? Very well. I consent. The galaxy was lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What was that?
Attention. Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
What if that Starborn is still alive?
We have to risk it. He'd be dying up there.
You! The EM rifle, grab it! Now!
That's it. Now hit him with everything you've got.
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting, I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready. I'm not suggesting. It's documented behavior. The result of the projection, though, can vary wildly. Some folks just shrug it off. Others hallucinate. And some lose control altogether. They'll lash out at anyone around them, but still be aware while they're doing it. Those cases, you'll either need to knock them out with EM fire, or free them by killing the Terramorph. I honestly was just wondering the same thing. But no, you don't need to worry about me. I've had a Terramorph try it on me before. I'm not susceptible. So we'll just have to make sure to watch out for each other down there. Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
No time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move!
An evacuation order has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
Don't just stand there!
Wait, officer? Are you and this woman experts? Take whatever we can get right now. We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
surrounded. All around. No way out.
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. The universe put the right people in the right place. Certainly doesn't feel like it.
I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your homes. That is all.
Sarah. Sarah, can you hear me? It's Sam. Hey, hey! She's dying, okay? There's no stopping that now. We're gonna finish this thing for you, okay? Sarah, we'll solve this mystery, I swear. She's gone. Come on. Let's get going. There's no changing anything now.
Alive. Krix's ghost can keep waiting. No tears for the old. Got the others to worry about.
Okay, I admit, my famous personality wasn't so much help with this one. I don't think I'm going anywhere from here. Give the meds some time to kick in. You go ahead.
He came out of nowhere. Thank you. I don't think I can move right away. But I'll make it. Go on.
Vladimir! Oh, thank goodness! Where's Sarah?
She's gone. We need to talk locks and bolts. Lodge and the Eye are not secure. Got the right of it.
Hunter, he probably found us because we're somewhere obvious. High-populated area, just like how the Starborn found you orbiting Neon the first time. But the fact that they're competing with us to find the artifacts means they can't get them without searching.
So we put the artifacts somewhere in the fringe, or on something that can slip from their grasp if they do another strike from the curtain. Fine idea. Starborn show up, you can burn helium in one spin of the grav drive to anywhere.
Here, keep the artifacts safe. I guess we'll meet back at the lodge after.
much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, there you are. I believe we have some things we should discuss. Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative. We see your atypical background as a strength, not a hindrance. The people you'll be dealing with, they're rather atypical themselves. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us? I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data. No chance we'd get anything if it was me going.
Good, you're here. So, thanks to your work in Sidonia, I'm told someone here has leaked information on Project Dominion to our adversaries at Infinity Ltd. A mole within the company means a failing in my department.
We're initiating Security Directive Theta, which means a full sweep of every employee in this building, Masako and myself included. Directive Theta allows for a third party to conduct the sweep. This way, the results can be objective. We certainly are. Directive Theta has one unique case, and that's Ularu Chen. The directive calls for a specialized programmer known as Nix to investigate her, but he'll need your assistance for an unusual assignment. Ularu has the ability to thwart any investigation, so it's imperative she knows nothing about this directive. Her knowledge and talents are why she's the Chief of Operations, so she is the best equipped to evade detection. We don't deal in
trust here. Think more in terms of mutual benefit and leverage. And in this case, it's mutual benefit. Nyx will be giving you a program to run on Ularu's computer that will pull any data needed to prove her guilty or innocent. Your job is to infiltrate Ryujin Tower as an anonymous outsider in order to run this program. Completely off the books. This means your keycard will be turned off, and the security guards in the building will consider you to be trespassing. We employ over 100 members of our security team who rotate floors and shifts. It's possible you'll be recognized, but even so, my orders will be strict. Authorized security personnel only. And you certainly won't qualify, making you an immediate suspect. If you get caught, the guards will follow standard procedure and lock you up in a cell for questioning. Provided you don't provoke them. And I strongly advise against provoking them. These are your fellow employees. We want this to go as smoothly as possible. Directive Theta requires utmost secrecy for success. We don't know what connections the mole may have, so we can't risk informing our security team. At least one of us is. In the meantime, I'll ensure all non-essential employees, Ularu included, have left the building, claiming routine security maintenance. During that time, I'll be unlocking access to the tower's ventilation system, which you can utilize to help avoid detection. I'm also issuing you a disruptor, which should help in avoiding casualties should a worst-case scenario turn up. Ularu doesn't know about Directive Theta, but she'll fully expect a building closure while we investigate. As far as she knows, it's standard procedure. One that she no doubt has already made accommodations for. This is why we're bringing in a third party. She won't be expecting to go up against Neon's best. And it's also why secrecy is of utmost importance. Not even our own security detail can know, in case the information leaks. Good. No one can know about this, not even our own guards. So stealth will be of utmost importance. You'll meet Nyx at Madame Sauvage's place. He knows Directive Theta has been enacted.
Has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your homes. That is all.
We all feel like we've been kicked into the ground a million times over, but I think I have something. I'm serious. If I may, I know our encounter with the Hunter is the last thing anyone wants to talk about right now, but he said something that I can't get out of my mind. Unity. Do you remember that? Because he was stopping us, implying that we were getting closer to it. The thing is, I've heard that word before. It's an important concept in Keeper Aquilas's speeches.
The priest? Is the Sanctum Universum going to bless our little crusade of discovery?
It can't be a coincidence. The Sanctum has always believed that answers are out there in the stars. Look, I know it's the longest of shots and the biggest leap of faith I could ever ask us all to take, but why not talk to him? But why not go with a little intuition? Many great things in our history were discovered because someone had faith it would be there. I don't want to dismiss your skepticism, but what do we have to lose? I'll meet you over there.
Got an appointment? Because if not, consider this area reserved. Wow, nice to meet you too. Good thing you aren't with marketing. I've written up a program just for the occasion, but as Ryujin knows, it's yours for either a price or a favor. Oh, I'm pretty sure it's not. It is a really nice amount of credits. Maybe I am getting a little greedy here. Ryujin is my second best long-term client. You must be joking. Now pay up. I don't have all day. And should he? Nothing's for free, you know. Cost is a given. A pleasure, as always. Your job is simple. Just run this little beauty on Ularu Chen's computer, and the program will take care of the rest. Once you're done, bring the slate back to me at my place. Whatever encryption Ularu has is bound to take some real work. More than my little setup here can handle. It's nice to see you know more than just sneaking around and talking a good game. Here's the slate. I'll be waiting.
Got you now. You're in the right place, baby. Everyone knows this is Neon's premier social club.
Hey, I've been talking with the others, and I'd like to get everyone together. To say goodbye. You know. To Sarah. Thank you. It wouldn't be the same without you there. I'll have everything set up in a few days.